Aficionados, what's up? What's going on? Hey, yo, check this out. My, oh my, oh my, oh my, how times have changed. This is not, and I repeat, is not your grandfather's top-ranked boxing stable. And what I'm referring to is the situation between one Keyshawn Davis and Gervonta Davis, right? So times have changed in the dynamics between PBC and Top Rank. There was a time when a top-ranked fighter could not get their hands on a PBC fighter just because they were on the wrong side of the street. Thanks to Turkey, well, the Sheikh of Arabi, and the Riyadh season, that goes out the window. If a fight is big enough, we'll get to see that fight for however long that lasts. But it seems like the Saudis are definitely into boxing for a long time. They're here for the long haul, as evidenced by the purchase of Ring Magazine. Wow. This is not just a fly-by-night crew of promoters that get into boxing in and out, drop a whole lot of money, and then you never hear from them again. That's not what the Saudi prince is doing. But that's neither here nor there. Let's focus on what this video really is about and what the main topic is. Right? So, times have changed in the dynamics between top-ranked fighters and PBC fighters who were once able to avoid a top-ranked fighter just by virtue of being on the wrong side of the street, what have you. And so that's how we had to wait so many years between Floyd Mayweather fight and Manny Pacquiao, because this goes back to those days, right? When everybody was, different networks. Networks don't even exist anymore. This is not HBO and Showtime. This is not HBO and Showtime or ESPN and Showtime. This is a whole other dynamic. But what makes it more interesting is that all fights are attainable. And so back in the days when, fast forward a little bit to the Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence situation, when Terrence Crawford had to leave Top Rank to get that fight against Errol Spence, right? He leaves Top Rank only to find out that there were still more obstacles that he had to hurdle to get the fight with Errol Spence. Because if you guys remember, he didn't just leave Top Rank and right away fight Errol Spence. Waited a whole other year for that to happen. A year and change, I believe. And so what we have now is Keyshawn Davis straight up calling, actually stalking, menacing Gervonta Tank Davis. Can we really still call him Tank after this? I don't think so. So the difference between the two situations, the difference between Terrence Crawford's pursuit of an Errol Spence fight and Keyshawn Davis's pursuit of a Tank Davis fight is that there is no more Showtime, right? The money has run out on the PBC side of the street, right? There is no more side of the street. The sides of the streets were done with. Showtime's no longer in boxing. We don't have to deal with their knucklehead program director, sports program director. I forget his name. That's how irrelevant he is. That's how irrelevant he is right now. Right? What we have now is a bunch of PBC fighters struggling for paydays. Gervonta Davis, who was sold as the face of boxing right up there with Canelo, has now found out that he can't make $20 million unless he's fighting Ryan Garcia, who brings that kind of fanfare and that new audience to the program. He's going to take, in this fight, next fight against Lamont Roach, he's probably going to take at least a 75% pay cut. Easily. If he made $20 million against Ryan Garcia, he's going to take about 3 to 5 fighting Lamont Roach right now. Because the well's run dry and nobody really wants to see that fight. And that's the difference between the situation of Gervonta Davis, is that not only doesn't he have a network, there's no Showtime backing up PBC, because Prime is not paying into the PBC coffers. They're not paying them for 40 fights a year, right? That ship sailed. Right now, in order for him to get paid, he's going to have to actually get engaged in fights that people want to see. He doesn't have the Showtime, like I said, the Showtime coffers to just dip into. And he also doesn't have any fighters at PBC at 135 that he can fight that would be of any interest to anyone else. Who else can he fight at 135 that would be of interest to somebody? Lomachenko. But again, that's a top-ranked fighter. That lets you know right there, the minute that he was willing to fight Lomachenko, not only because Lomachenko's over the hill and old, but also because he was a big name that could get him more than $10 million for the fight, right? It'll create the kind of buzz and interest that could create the payday that he would like, a payday that at least approximate the $20 million that he got by fighting Ryan Garcia, right? Not only does he not have that type of fighter across the street on the PBC side, like Errol Spence did. Errol Spence went from Danny Garcia, not that he made $20 million against Danny Garcia, but at least he could fight a Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Kirk, what's his name? The ponytail, Keith, which he didn't fight. And of course, he beat up on Mikey Garcia. So a made up, blown up 130 pounder, right? He could sell that kind of story over there. But Gervonta Davis can't sell a story at 135 on PBC and keep it in-house. He can't. Look how he's doing. He's getting Lamont Roach for his next fight. And not only that, Errol Spence didn't have to deal with the backlash of not fighting a Terrence Crawford because the excuses were abundant. He's on the wrong side of the street. He hasn't come into my weight class. He's never fought nobody. Blah, 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 blah. And I have people to fight in belts on my side of the street, including Manny Pacquiao. He could go for Manny Pacquiao, although he never fought him. Point is that Gervonta Davis not only cannot avoid Keyshawn Davis, he could avoid him, but Keyshawn Davis is in his backyard. Keyshawn Davis is right there in Norfolk, Virginia, a stone's throw away from Baltimore and Washington, D.C. He's in the DMV area. So you know that area is buzzing right now. So Gervonta Davis can't go home. Gervonta Davis can't go to Baltimore. Yo, what you gonna do? What you gonna do, Ted? You know that the gyms around the DMV, if he visits the gyms around the DMV, they're going to ask him what's he going to do about Keyshawn Davis. Talking all that shit. You know, he's Virginia, you know. You know, he had a good turnout, you know. 10,000 people came to see him. 10,000 people came to see him. Gervonta, what you going to do? He's calling you out. He ain't even talking about money. He's just talking about, I want to whip your ass. All right? Keyshawn Davis isn't talking about money. Keyshawn Davis isn't talking about money. He's talking about, I want to whip his ass. That's all he wants. He's calling you a munchkin. He's calling you a dwarf. He's saying you ain't shit. I want to see light skin. I want to beat his ass. That's the type of noise that Keyshawn Davis is making right in your backyard. You got to save face. That's the kind of precision that Terrence Crawford never got Errol Spence in. Terrence Crawford never got Errol Spence in that position. Errol Spence was in Texas. He had a bunch of fighters he could fight. He had Showtime. He was across the street. He had all these boundaries and obstacles and enclosures that he could hide in to avoid that fight with Terrence Bud Crawford. But guess what? Gervonta Davis doesn't have any of those comforts. He's not afforded any of those accommodations right now. He's uncomfortable in his own backyard right now. Why? Because Keyshawn Davis just put on a show in his backyard. And not only did he do that, he is a presence on the microphone. He loves the microphone. He isn't Terrence Crawford that doesn't got nothing to say. I'm a promoter. They got I'm a promoter. I just want to go fishing. That ain't fucking Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis is, I want to whip ass. I'm crazy. I got mental problems, and I need to whip some ass. Me and my brothers and my mother and my sisters, and we, that. Listen, it's a total different type of energy. And it's the type of energy that is infectious. And it's the type of energy that has been sorely lacking from a top-ranked fighter. It's the type of energy that was needed when Terrence Bud Crawford, it was the type of energy that was needed from Terrence Bud Crawford 6 years ago. If Terrence Crawford had the presence, personality, that Keyshawn Davis has, that bravura, he would have gotten that fight. He'd have gotten that fight. Right? That bravura, so Shakur Stevenson maybe could talk shit. He likes that too. He could get on him. I'll whip you. He's that type of dude. But he isn't must-watch television. He's a great fighter, but he ain't must-watch television. So Shakur Stevenson, when he was a top rank and won the Davis fight, he had that kind of mouth, but not the type of skill. He didn't have the viral moment, right? What was his viral moment? Him running around the ring. Him running around the ring against Santos, Edwin De Los Santos, that's his viral moment. Him running from De Los Santos, that's his viral moment. Let's be honest. As great a fighter, as skilled as he is, his viral moment is him running away from De Los Santos. He shit the bed. He shit the bed on his biggest night, when everybody was tuned in to see that De Los Santos fight. It's the truth. Then he comes back and puts people to sleep on his last fight with Toprank, his swan song fight, which also people tuned in for. But he put people literally to sleep. Then he wants to blame you for not wanting to watch him put on a snooze fest. That's what he did. Blame the fan for not wanting to, for not wanting to just lay down in the quilt and watch the end of the fight. That was him. Keyshawn Davis ain't about that. Keyshawn Davis brings that fire. He wants to put on a show. He got the viral moment. He went up against a credible opponent, right? Gustavo Limos, who really should have been undefeated because a lot of people say that he beat Richardson Hitchens, or whatever the hell his name is. And so it was a credible opponent who decided to come in 10 pounds overweight for the fight. Or 6 pounds overweight for a fight. So he didn't weight train him. A lot of people would talk, oh, well, he weight trained because Lemos is a 140 pounder. He brought him down to 135. Well, you have a point. But guess what? Lemos didn't make the weight. He came in overweight, even if for a 140-pound fight. He came in 6 pounds overweight. The limit was 135. 6 pounds overweight puts you at 141. That was a welterweight he came in again. And then he rehydrated. And it didn't matter. And Lemos had, 21, 22 knockouts, 29-1, 22. He was, a pressure Argentinian, a pressure fighter along the lines of Maidana type, Argentinian strongman fighter. That's what they do. If you don't got the skill, if you don't got the heart, if you don't got the power to keep them off of you, they will embarrass you. Maidana used to do it. Lemos does it. You name an Argentinian fighter, they do it. They will embarrass you. You know what I'm saying? Keyshawn Davis said, that's no problem. He made 135. He made the weight. Put him in the face. What was it? 2 rounds? Boom, you're out of there. Viral. Knocked down the ref, too. And when he gets on that microphone in front of 10,000 Virginians, he said, I want that little light-skinned punk ass. I want to beat his ass. Tank, where you at? That is crazy right there. Tank had to see that. And he got affected because he deleted his Twitter account or his Instagram account. They were coming out. He couldn't take the pressure. He can't take the pressure. He can't run away from it. He's got an answer for that. This is great, man. This is great. This is a fight that I want to see now. This is the way to get a casual fan like myself, the filthy casual, very interested in an event, in a fight. That's how you do it. Shout out to Keyshawn Davis for getting it, for knowing how to do and put on a show instead of knucklehead. He's right now. I think Keyshawn Davis has Top Rank on his back right now. In those lower divisions, he got Top Rank on his back right now. He's got Top Rank on his back. That's the dude I want to see now. Fuck that. That's the dude I want to see now. Keyshawn Davis. Watch it. Him and his brothers. His brothers look like muggers. I'm going to tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the South Bronx. My mom used to get mugged by motherfuckers that look like that. But, that's neither here nor there. That's neither here. I forgive all that. Hey, I forgive all that. But you convict-looking motherfuckers. That's neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. All right? It's a beautiful thing. The Davis boys, man. Hey, listen. Gangster to the bone. They're bringing gangster to back to boxing. That violence. It's crazy. I want to see all 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? And Keyshawn Davis saying on that dumb shit like Teofimo Lopez. He likes to get on the microphone and say stupid nonsense that doesn't get him any fight. It doesn't get him and turns people off. If you want a study on how to turn people off, watch Teofimo Lopez on a microphone. If you want to see a study on how to not get people, how to pour cold water on people's interest of you, watch Bud Crawford prior to leaving Top Rank, how he used to handle his interviews. I'm going fishing. Whatever. Like, who the hell wants to see that? Who the hell would be interested in seeing you? Now he leaves Toprank, has to sell his own fights. Now he's the man. He's made 1,000 interviews. He's a totally different fighter. You know, and Shakur Stevenson, I don't want to see him fight. I don't care. I don't care about a Stevenson fight. I don't care. And most people don't either. Yeah, you're great. You're the next Mayweather. You might not have defeated. So what? It takes more than that to bring about interest and a following and sell papers. It takes a lot more than that, man. You got to show up, show out, and give the people what they want. And then ask them after you give it to them, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. I am the filthy casual for boxing aficionados. Peace, I'm out.